Supplemental math videos from Circle Christian School. Limit operations. Okay, the question is, what's a limit? It's, how far can you push it? That's a limit. The closer you can get to something, the more accurate the result. That's what calculus is all about. Okay, these are just basically notes from the book to begin with, but the properties of limits. Of course, sometimes when you take a look at their properties and it's got all the little alphabet soup in it, it doesn't make sense until you really just try to put some real numbers inside there. So that's what I did here. But basically, if you have a function that we're going to call L and another function called K, and a limit is given to it, basically, again, this is what we're doing. We're looking for y's, that the scholar limit, that is, hey, we're going to bump up a limited function here, means that you're just going to multiply the limit. So if we have 5 limit x, and we're using x as it approaches to 4, 5 times the 4 going to give us the 20. Same thing with the sum and difference. You can add and subtract. That what you do is, noticing that you got the little x there, it's saying, hey, throw the 3 in there, add them together. You can break them up, the limit x, the limit 4. In fact, this is looking a little bit like what we did when we expanded logarithms to some degree. Some of those properties may seem somewhat similar to you. So we would have 3 and we'd plus the 4, and that would give us 7, which would result in 49. And gee whiz, if we can add and subtract, we can multiply and we can divide. So same thing pretty much happening here. You just got to kind of split them up a little bit and identify what the limit is, because that's what you're going to put in to the x. So using x cosine x, and after you've put it in all honesty, if you put it into your calculator, you'll see that this is what you get. Just remember that in this case you have to be in radian mode. The quotient one also works about the same way. So just kind of, again, take a look at what you have. You might have to tweak back a little bit to your trig stuff and some trig paper stuff to identify what some values are, but generally your calculator is pretty much able to do it for you. And then of course we have a power one, when we take a limit and woo, power it up. So we're going to put, what x approaches to in where that x is at, and then we're going to get our value. Pretty cinchy. It's just kind of the basics of what happens with limits.